It only took 707 days from the peak of the last bull run to breaking out and creating its first higher highs after consolidating. And now currently we're already over 900 days into this pattern. So far it's already taken at least 200 more days to create a higher high on this chart than it did during the last bear market. I think it's safe to say we are overdue for an explosion. And guys, huge news, we got our first red dot on Plan B stock to flow. So we'll talk about that and most likely what is going to be happening this month. And as well, you guys, the first day of June is here and Bitcoin has entered a seasonally extremely bullish month, with 6 of the last 8 Junes in a row have been extremely bullish for Bitcoin. So we're going to be taking a look at that data as well. And Bitcoin continues to consolidate here, the very most absolutely critical area that if we even break, slightly above 10.5, we will create our first higher high in over 2.5 years. We're only $1,000 away from it, and a break from this line most certainly would give us that. Ethereum, which had a huge impact on the cryptocurrency space in 2017, went from under $1 to over 1,600 US dollars over a span of 2 years. Are we going to see similar gains in Ethereum, Bitcoin, and all of the other altcoins? Let's jump into it. Wow, what's going on, everyone? Welcome back to another extremely Bitcoin webisode. We have tons to get into today. It is a new month. We got our monthly candle close above 9,300. Things are looking pretty good, and as well, we actually don't have a CME gap to the upside or downside, so that's important to note as well. But we have a lot to get into, and what are the possibilities that Ethereum will have a huge impact on this coming rally, similar to what it did in 2017, you guys. For everyone back in crypto in 2017, many people consider that year kind of the year of altcoins, the year of Ethereum specifically. People that got in early on Ethereum absolutely exploded. They had their lives changed forever. Truly a very, very important part of 2017 in crypto. Everyone, including myself, talks about Bitcoin, guys, but we need to realize and recognize Ethereum was an absolute game changer back then. And we have a lot of amazing information to get into in this CoinDesk article published by Omkar Godbol here, guys, about Ethereum, about Ethereum 2.0, as they're calling it, and why this is very likely going to be huge for the space, huge for Bitcoin, huge for adoption, as well as so many other coins. We could see an eruption like we haven't seen in years. So guys, awesome stuff. Thanks so much for coming by. Make sure to drop your comment if you want to win one of these ledgers. Hit that subscribe, turn on the dings. And we are going to be giving away one of these bad boys in this episode, guys. Let's see if we can hit this video to 1,800 like Aronu's. We smashed through 1,600. So guys, let's see if we can hit 1,800. Wow. Now, without any further ado, let's get learning. So let's actually start off here, you guys. So we don't usually talk, actually we never talk about this. So this is the Ethereum USD chart, and back here you can see at the end of 2015, very beginning of 2016, February 2016 is when Ethereum really started to explode here. You can see going from less than $1, and this is where this rise basically went parabolic, aside from a few months of sideways action back in early 2016, but ultimately culminated in a run from about, let's go from the low here, from about 40 cents to about 1,600 US dollars, which is absolutely huge. That was Ethereum. Now, if we take a look at Bitcoin all the way back, this is another really important thing that I want to show you guys here. So this is the longest running chart of Bitcoin. The Brave New Coin Liquid Index for Bitcoin goes all the way back to, let's see how far this exactly goes back, basically the middle of 2010. So this chart is 10 years worth of data here. So during the last bull run, not the one we just had that ended in the end of 2017, the one prior to that, because we haven't had a breakout of this downtrend for the past 2.5 years, but we did get a breakout of the downtrend of this bear market that topped out the end of 2013. And you can see here we set multiple lower highs here. We actually came up to it here as well. Over the course of about 2.5, 3 years, basically a very long time, right? Pretty much 2 years. And you can see we were setting all of those, and when things really finally erupted after getting 2 touches on the 200-day moving average, very similar to what we have now. We have 2 separate occurrences of a 200-day moving average touch finding support on them. Both of our lows of the past 2.5 years, our significant lows, are right on this 200-day moving average. Okay, we plummeted through it here, but you can see those are only wicks, and neither of these weekly candles closed down here. These wick down to like 4,000 and 4,500 respectively, but for the most part, they found a lot of support right on the 200-day moving average. Okay, same thing here. We had a touch on the 200-day here, and then a few months later, actually, yeah, it's almost an entire year later, we had a second touch, and then we finally, after like 2 years, broke and made our first higher high right here, where Bitcoin went from 240 to almost $500, actually above $500. So that was the defining moment, and that 100% can be defined as the absolute beginning of this bull market. And this is the bull market that we saw call money at the end of 2017. This is the bull market that started around $250 per Bitcoin and went all the way up to $20,000 per Bitcoin. Now that is legendary, okay? That's huge. And we're talking about, this is myself and everyone is excited because we expect a similar 2-year run, 3-year run to happen in cryptocurrency again. So the very first thing that happened to signify, okay, we're going to enter this 2.5 year, 2-3 year bull market is we break and we create our first higher high. Now back here in 2013, 2014, and 2015, going into the beginning of 2016, it took over 700 days from the top of the previous cycle to get our first higher high. It took over 700 days. Now currently from the top of our current cycle to where we are now, where we still have not set a higher high, this has been over 900 days. Okay, it's about like 910 days. So it took 700 days to create our first higher high and enter bull mode. And so far it's taken over 200 days longer than that for us, and we still haven't even set a higher high. So you wonder why people are excited and ready and saying like, wow, we have to get a breakout soon. In the long-term perspective of this, we are overdue. We are extremely overdue to finally set a higher high. Now, why this is so exciting, guys, because again, this could happen any single day. The reason this is huge is because we are literally dollars away from setting a higher high. Roughly exactly about $1,000, which in the grand scheme of Bitcoin's price is really not that much at all, especially considering we've gone up $6,000 in just the past 2 months, right? So we're $1,000 away from setting our first higher high. And again, when we break this line, this is why this is exciting, because 1,000 might seem like it's far away, but the thing is, if we actually definitively break that line, we'll most likely blow way past $1,000 higher than that, okay? This is a very constricted pattern. It's been waiting and waiting and waiting. There's pressure building up everywhere. So definitely when we break this resistance, which has just proven to be very strong, obviously the resistance here is extremely strong. When we finally break it, it's going to explode, in my opinion, up that way. And that very strong resistance will turn into very strong support on the downside. Wow. Now, just to illustrate that as well, guys, we even have this daily pattern, which is just prime, because if we get a break from here, guys, we will break. We 100%, if we get a true breakout from this daily pattern, here zoomed in, it's about a month long so far. If we get an actual break to the upside of this, it will 100% shatter our 2.5 year resistance, and it is extremely likely that it will give us our first higher high since the end of 2017. Could this be the final pattern that we get before we actually get our higher high? Because that's the one thing, again, I'll show you this one more time. This is the one thing that we haven't had on this pattern is a higher high. Okay, this is exactly what it would look like. It doesn't even look, it's not even that impressive just looking on this chart, considering the last higher high, or the last lower high was around 10,500 right here. We would just need to break basically above right here, and that would be our first higher high, which yet again, guys, we have not gotten that. If we zoom in here on the daily for Coinbase's chart, you can see same thing forming here, same kind of symmetrical pattern right there, and we are just literally hugging the very top of this. So again, whether it happens today or whether it happens 2 weeks from now, either way, you guys definitely have to get your ducks in a row. Be prepared, because things are going to be absolutely wild. Wow, we do have a fresh monthly candle right here. Ideally, we need to see this monthly candle break through this key area, which we have not been above in months. This golden pocket of the past 2.5 year resistance right here between 10,800 and 9,700. So we need to break into this month. Without a doubt, June, we have to be breaking above this. So guys, let's actually look at this. So Plan B actually just tweeted. He had a few of these tweets, but this one's pretty new. This one actually just came out about noon on the East Coast. For the connoisseurs, the red dot on the Bitcoin stock to flow model, it will be the start of the bull. Will it be the start of the bull market again? In 2012 and 2013, as well as 2016 to 2017, red dots started the transition to a new phase. And guys, what you notice here as well, there was never a red dot that had a second red dot below that, meaning The second red dot was always followed by a red dot higher than the previous one. Again, it only happened 2 other times, so it's not like a ton of data, but this chart has a lot of people's respect and interest, so it definitely is something to pay attention to. What each dot represents is just the months until the next halving. So you can see here there's dozens and dozens of months until we have the next halving, but you can see when these red dots form, which we just got our first one of this new year and of this halving, when they form, you can see price tends to explode afterwards. So very interesting stuff here, guys. Release the red dots, TR says. Huge. This is the launch pad. So guys, huge. Let's jump into this because I'm actually really excited to cover this. Ethereum, I think, is going to be playing a huge role. There are so many tokens and so many things being built on Ethereum. And overall, the project is just really bullish in my opinion. It had a huge impact in 2017. So let's go through this Omkar Godboll article on CoinDesk. Bitcoin has entered the seasonally bullish month of June on a positive note, but its recent gains look pale compared to that of Ethereum as the Ethereum blockchain approaches a key new iteration. So analysts here expect both Bitcoin and Ethereum to maintain bullish momentum over the near term, while seasonality is positive for Bitcoin in June, supporting the case for an extension of its 2-month winning streak. Ether is likely to benefit from Ethereum's upcoming switch to the proof of stake mechanism as opposed to proof of work, which a lot of people are calling, it's deemed Ethereum 2.0. So Bitcoin has put in a positive June performance in 6 of the last 8 years. Moreover, the cryptocurrency has printed gains in the second quarter, also in 6 of the last 8 years. So Junes have been extremely bullish, and specifically the second quarter in the last 6 to 8 years have also been extremely bullish for Bitcoin and cryptocurrency. So global tensions and uncertainties have intensified over the past week and further support Bitcoin as a narrative as an alternative investment, to protect downside risk. That's 100% been going on there. Technically, we're expecting a break above 10K, says Dibs, over the next 2 weeks. So what he's saying is Dibs is expecting a break over $10,000 for Bitcoin over the next 2 weeks from today, and a further push to 11,000 by the end of this month, even beginning of next month. Su Zhu, the CEO of 3 Arrows Capital, said Bitcoin's moment will be a clean break of the key round figure of 10,000. And we are right there. We're a few $100s away from it. We've been a few $100s away from it for weeks and weeks and weeks. And guys, it's going to pop eventually. Indeed, Bitcoin has failed multiple times in the last 3 weeks or so, actually a little longer than that, to shake off selling pressure in the range of 99 to 10,000, a $100 range. So a convincing break above the psychological resistance could cause more buyers to join the market, leading to stronger gains. At press time, the cryptocurrency is trapped in a narrowing price range. Direction in which the range is breached will likely set the tone here. It says here a bullish break could be seen as investor sentiment is at its most bullish that it's been in years, according to on-chain data. For instance, nearly 60% of Bitcoin supply hasn't changed in over 12 months, which is a huge sign investors are holding in expectation of gains. Now, this is according to Glassnode right here. A lot of people cover this, and there's very good data here, but you can see, guys, this happens before massive explosions in Bitcoin historically over the past 10 years. It says here a similar percentage of supply was lying dormant for over a year at the start of the mega bull run in 2016. This chart that we just showed you of this mega bull run, where it started back here in 2016, you can see it right here, where things absolutely popped off. The same exact data in terms of the percentage of people holding and keeping their Bitcoin in their private keys is present now as it was back then. Guys, not only are these charts and the technicals showing this, but the fundamental data on like the on-chain Glassnode we're talking about people holding it, that's saying the same thing. Everything is lined up. The next thing we'll see is a break above and create a higher high, which would look like this on the chart. So again, that is our next move. Whether it happens this week, whether it happens sometime this month or next month, there is no doubt in my mind we're going to be seeing it soon. So it says here, Ethereum's impending transition from proof of work to proof of stake is a major upgrade dubbed Ethereum 2.0, likely boded well for Ethereum in May. So this last month, buying pressure for the crypto may remain strong in the near term with the launch of ETH 2.0 due in the third quarter of this year. It says here, David Schwartz, a senior software engineer at Nash, says it's hard to be bearish with Ethereum staking coming soon. I suspect there will be a lot more Ether staked than the projected 10 to 30 million. He talks about that. But guys, what I want to say here is this. We always talk about if Bitcoin explodes, all these other altcoins will explode. But the same thing goes for Ethereum. If Ethereum explodes, Bitcoin and altcoins will go with it. I don't think that's shocking to a lot of people, but we don't really talk about it often, but it's true in my opinion. If Bitcoin explodes, we will 100% see altcoins follow it. But I also think if the number 2 coin, Ethereum, explodes, I think the same result will happen 100%. So staking rewards, which a lot of people have actually gotten on board with over the last year, staking rewards network participants for holding coins in a similar way to earning interest in savings. And I think this is a very attractive feature for newer people to the space, especially maybe bigger investors, because the idea of staking and basically earning passive income with staking your cryptocurrencies, just that fundamental idea, I think attracts a lot of people. And I think it'll play a big role moving forward. And that's another thing Ethereum is doing right now. So to end this article, Lennox Lai, a director of financial markets at crypto exchange OKX, expects Bitcoin and the broader crypto market to benefit from the increased investor interest in Ethereum. I 100% agree with that. The upcoming ETH 2.0 upgrade shall encourage more people to stake ETH and ultimately benefit the sentiments of the crypto market as a whole. Basically exactly what I just said. I 100% agree with that. The staking ETH 2.0, and if ETH explodes, the entire cryptocurrency market will benefit from that as well. Similar to when Bitcoin explodes, the entire cryptocurrency also, or the entire market also gets a lot of value added to it and has explosive runs. Same thing with this scenario here with ETH 2.0. Wow, guys, so we actually smashed, we hit 1.7K likes so far. So yeah, we're going to be doing this giveaway here real quick. Let's copy paste it in here, get YouTube comments. I think there was a lot of comments on this one actually, because I said about 490 unique comments. So let's see who the winner is. Marwan Kobrowski says, definitely the memes for me. Main reason I subbed. Cheers to that, brother. We gotta love the memes. Make sure to send me a message. My contact is in the description. Make sure to shoot me a message and also reply to your original comment, just so we can verify it's you. And guys, huge, let me know what you think, because we don't talk about Ethereum a lot, but I mean, this news honestly has me pretty excited, and it's almost like a mind-opening, like, yes, this could actually usher in even more explosion for this space. And again, similar events to what happened in 2016, the end of 2015, that led to this massive explosion in the cryptocurrency price. Guys, I mean, it's all coming together. Looks absolutely beautiful. So let me know what you think about that. If you want some tips and tricks to make your trading more profitable, you got to check out T4 below in the description and in the comments. Okay, with these tips, we'll help you identify patterns, understand the market, and also just some basic and fundamental important things you need to know about trading in general, so that you can help build your portfolio. And guys, I want to say this as well. If you're trading, there are going to be some bad trades. You're going to mess up sometimes. In fact, to be a good trader, you only really have to be profitable more than like half the time. It's not like I don't think there are any traders in this world that are profitable 95% of the time. Everybody makes bad trades, but learning certain tips and tricks to help and minimize your risk and increase the reward, some of the most fundamental things that help make trading profitable. You could boil it down to, you basically want to enter trades that have minimal risk and massive reward. And there are certain things that you can help to identify those situations. And if you can identify them and prepare and place the trades correctly, you can make a lot more profit. Nobody's a perfect trader, but there is plenty of data and plenty of information that makes it a lot easier to trade. So guys, huge, thanks so much for watching. Make sure to, let's smash it up to, what did I say, 1800 or 17? Let's hit 1800 and we can smash on to the next webisode.